Okay, hello. My name is Leonor Aragon. I'm from Linguistics 392, Section 2, in Dr. Tal's class, and I'll be presenting my language analysis project on Jackie Chan. So to begin, I'll take you guys over the table of contents, which includes the biography on slide 3, the data on slide 4, phonology on slide 5, morphology on slide 6, syntax on slide 7, semantics on slide 8, concluding thoughts on slide 9, works cited on slide 10 through 11. So to continue, Jackie Chan, or Chen Kong-sang, as he was originally named, was born on April 7th, 1954 in Hong Kong, China. An interesting fact that Jackie Chan mentions about his birth is that he weighed 12 pounds when he was born and there was therefore nicknamed Shandong Cannon. His native language is Cantonese, although over the years he was able to learn other languages such as Mandarin, English, German, Korean, Japanese, and American Sign Language. He was enrolled in the China Drama Academy due to his father taking a job at the American Embassy in Australia and having to leave him behind at just 7 years old. Jackie Chan stayed in the academy for 10 years, learning many skills such as singing, tumbling, acrobatics, martial arts skills, and acting. He stated that the academy was very disciplined and students were beaten if they disobeyed or made mistakes. When Jackie Chan graduated from the academy, he had trouble finding work since at the academy they weren't taught to read or write. So therefore, he only found work as a stuntman. But then the Hong Kong movie industry began to fail, and he had to move to Australia with his parents. And that is when he decides to learn English while being at Australia, and he began to learn English at the age of 17. And also, while working at a construction site in Australia, he got the nickname Jackie from a worker who couldn't pronounce his name Kong Sang. And Jackie was unhappy in Australia, and his big break came when he received a telegram from a man asking him if he could star in a movie in Hong Kong. And from then on, Jackie became a success in Asia, starting at the age of 21. Jackie first tried to get into the American movie market in the 1980s, but he failed and returned to Hong Kong. However, the Hollywood distributors decided to give him another chance, and that is when Jackie began to do well, starting with his role in Rumble in the Bronx. And he gained success and recognition in Hollywood with his role in Rush Hour. Now he's a worldly recognized actor and has made many action movies, and he has also won several awards, including the Oscars, which he won in 2016. Um, Moving on to the data. The data I will be using for the analysis will be 29 utterances collected from the video titled Jackie Chan in Conversation from minute 15 to minute 17 with 24 seconds. And it was posted by the Soul Talks and Ideas Archives. And now moving on to phonology. So according to the book titled Speech to Print Language Essentials for Teachers by Louisa Cook Motes, phonology is the study of speech and sound system of any language, including the rules and patterns by which phonemes are combined into words and phrases. So for this aspect, I noticed that Jackie Chan sometimes deleted a sound such as T at the end of certain words, such as in sentence 29, where he pronounces cement as cement by the deletion of the T sound at the end. Um, Another thing I noticed was how he changed the sound to like in the sentence 29, where he pronounces shovel and not shovel. Um, the last thing I noticed was how he changed the v sound and the sound, such as in sentence 4, with pronouncing have as half and government as government. So next we have morphology, and According to Motes, morphology is the study of the meaningful units of language and how they're combined in word formation. So for this category, I noticed that Jackie Chan deleted the "d" sound of one inflectional suffix. Um, this inflectional suffix is found in sentence 29, where he states this called cement, putting the verb call in the present tense instead of called with the D at the end in the past tense. And secondly, Jackie Chan also tends to delete the S sound in plural allomorphs, such as in sentence 7 and 8, where he takes out the S sound in countries, making it sound like country, as well as in 8, where he takes in sentence 8, where he takes out the S in speaks and making it speak. Um, Lastly, I noticed that Jackie Chan seems to change the sound at the end to an sound in noun suffixes. In sentence 29, the sound in water to make it seem like water, and the word father to make it seem like father in sentence 2. And to continue on, um, syntax. Syntax, as explained by the Motes book, is the rule system within a language that governs how speakers can combine and order words to make coherent and meaningful sentences. Um, so for this aspect, I noticed that Jackie Chan would add on adjectives to noun phrases, such as in sentence 25, with the description of the big fat guy. Um, he also, by adding on the adjective big and fat and guy, he also tends to use the auxiliary verb often, the auxiliary verb to, such as in sentence 3 and 4, where he says, I got to speak English and I have to go to learn English. And lastly, Jackie Chan seems to leave out the conjugation of certain verbs in the past tense. For example, in sentence 2, he says sit as opposed to sat. And the last category for this is semantics. And most states that semantics is the study of word and phrase meanings. And for this category, I noticed that Jackie Chan seemed to have some repetition of the noun phrases instead of substituting them for pronouns. Uh, for example, in sentence 25, he repeats the big fat guy say, the big fat guy called Jack, instead of the big fat guy says he is called Jack. Um, and Jackie also leaves out some connectors, such as the transition from sentence 16 to 17, where he leaves out a transition to explain his response. So he says, every day my father just put me in the shopping mall. I say no, I want to do something, instead of adding that transition, such as, every day my father just put me in the shopping mall. So I say no, I want to do something. And lastly, Jackie Chan also tends to use synonyms together. For example, the synonym big and fat in sentence 27, and we also see that in sentence 25 with the big fat guy. Um, and so to finalize my concluding thoughts on this, so based on my class notes of language acquisition, I have to acknowledge that Jackie Chan began to learn English after the critical age period, which is between 2 and puberty. Jackie Chan was 17 when he began to learn English. So due to this, it was harder for Jackie Chan to acquire the English language. Also due to this, his level of bilingualism is partial um, it's partial since he does seem to have the characteristics of his native language present in his acquisition. Jackie Chan also mentioned that his first English that he learned came from working at a construction site, therefore making his acquisition informal, since he learned the language by using it for real communication. And overall, with this project, I was able to see the um, connections with the many categories of phonology, morphology, syntax, and semantics. And I was able to see how they play a role when examining language acquisition. And this is my works cited. And yeah, thank you for watching.